In the following demonstration, I'm going to cover a few technical specifications that everyone should be following. The first thing is to make sure that you have a project folder set up and all the documents related to this project, including anything linked to your project or compositions, is in that folder. This will save you time and tears later on. Last week, you collaborated with the person whose animation directly follows yours. You should have a JPEG of their first frame. Use this JPEG of their first frame as a guide to how you're going to approach your graphical cut, from your animation to theirs. Your last frame and their first frame have to have a graphical cut. I've got an example here, not a particularly interesting one. Hopefully yours are better than this, but for the sake of the demonstration, I'm just going to show you how you would approach matching your last frame and their first frame within your After Effects composition. Everyone's composition settings have to match. If you think about it, if we all have different frame sizes, frame rates, then stitching all this together at the end is going to be a mess. So we all have to commit to setting up our compositions the same way. Go to Composition, New Composition, and everyone's composition should be 1920 by 1080, square pixels, 30 frames a second. The next step is to download the sound. Go to Blackboard and scroll down to the download link. Click on it. This will open a Dropbox folder where you can select your sound and download it. To download it, click on the three little dots and select Download. Make sure you save this file into your project folder. In After Effects, go to File, Import, and import the sound into your project. Click and drag it into the composition timeline. This composition is quite long. I don't need quite as much time on my composition. So to change that, go to Composition, Composition Settings, and adjust the time. I'm going to need a little bit of overlap so that I can plan out my graphical cut. Drop the first frame of your peer's animation into your composition for reference. You can trim it by going to the end of your sound with the blue playhead, holding down Option and clicking the in bracket. Now I can plan my animation up to that point, knowing that once my animation ends, it has to transition to this frame. Once you're finished animating and ready to export, make sure your work area spans the length of your animation. You can use the B for beginning and N for end keys to establish those points. Do not include your partner's animation, just yours. Go to File, Export, Adobe Media Encoder Q. This method will export only what's in your work area.